Hello, everyone. Hi, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. How are you today? I'm just here to really share some information from the Content Strategy Development Workbook and Guide. So, it's been a while. We are all being asked to, create more content, right? More, right? The content machine. We're now the content machine. But here's my recommendation is that we can become more strategic, right? It's about intentionality. When we are strategic, then we can plan and then we can execute. Okay? Being strategic allows us to bring expertise, skills, intentionality to the table so we can plan the desired outcomes and then we can execute the plan. Okay? Those are the three things we need to be aware of because I say go slow so that you can go fast. So, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Even if you're watching the replay, you're welcome. And if this is your first time ever of joining any of my live series, thank you for being here as well. My name is Toyin Umesiri. Call me Coach Toyin. When I'm teaching, I say call me Coach Toyin. I do play different roles depending on where you find me. I teach entrepreneurship principles, business growth strategies, and life principles really for success. Okay. I also teach international trade at the leadership and success program, right? So this week, I dropped the template workbook for content strategy development, and I want to show and share some highlights today. Okay. So basically, content is a vehicle that helps us deliver on our message. So that's a quote from me is content is the vehicle, it's a container, right? Think about the Amazon driver or ride the van. Okay. It's a container, it's a vehicle that helps us deliver the messages we have. So, what we have to think about is what's your message? What message do you have that you want delivered? And then, who do you want it delivered to? Right? What message do you have? Who do you need it delivered to? We need to think about those things first in strategic planning, content strategy first, before we then assess okay, to deliver this message to this group of people, what's the best avenue? What's the best way? Most optimized route? Okay. What's the most optimized route of getting that message across? So think about that first because I see people out, executing. Why are you doing what you're doing? I don't know. What results do you want? I don't know. They just said I should show up on Reels. They just, right? People are putting things out there that really they're not transformative. They're not short term strategy. There's not long term strategy behind them. So the reason I created this workbook and this guide, right? So there's a video guide and then there's the workbook, and the video guide tells you what to do, and it's available at toyinumesiri.com/content strategy. Okay. So the reason I created it is to serve and support the business members, right? So I do have clients, I do have members at the Business and Leadership Academy. I teach. Again, if this is your first time ever, you're welcome. I just want to give you that background. Okay, let's get right to it. The very first strategic decision you have to make, so I'm looking at the workbook, is really what's the goal of the content you're about to create, right? And when you are strategic, okay, when we get back to the drawing board and when you do all of the assignments here, what it will help you, in fact, the last page shows you planning for the next month, right? So you're going to take all of these strategies and you're going to translate it to your plan. You can now plan ahead. Instead of being reactive, we can now be proactive, right? When we are strategic, we can be proactive instead of reactive. We can now decide that says next month, these are our goals. This is what we want to achieve. These are the messages we want to deliver. These are the people we want to deliver it to. And this is how we're going to plan it out. And then when next month comes, you can execute on the plan. So when you do not have a plan, it means you do not have a strategy. Some have a plan and the strategy may not have been optimized. So there's something about strategic planning we talk about, right? A strategy is only as good, is only as optimized based on the quality of skill and experience and knowledge and information applied to it. So not all strategies are optimized, not all strategies are equal, not all strategies are effective. Okay? So knowledge, skill, information, expertise, experience that is applied, right? That's why this workbook is so important, is that it will help you tap into experience and skill that you may not have right now, right? You may be wondering right now, what should I be doing? How should I be doing? What content, what types of content should I be creating? How often should I be creating it for? What strategy should I be implementing, right? If you're lacking in that experience and skill, this type of workbook, you can borrow experience, you can borrow skill, right? Using this template workbook, by going through what I'm just about to share with you, right? You can now design a more optimized strategy for yourself that you can now plan and you can now execute on. Okay, that's how it works. I used to serve as a strategist for Fortune 1. Okay, everything I do, everything you do, you need to ask yourself, what are my goals? What am I trying to do here? What am I trying to communicate? Who am I trying to communicate to? So let me quickly break it down. The first strategic decision here, okay, what's the goal? And I have 4 options. Okay, I have 4 options you can select from, and I'll break that down. That's the highlights I'm going to share today. Okay, you can get the workbook and download the guide as well at the Business and Leadership Academy, where I teach every week entrepreneurship fundamentals, winning business growth strategies, and life success principles as well. Okay, 4 types of content goals. Okay, number 1, do you have your pen? Brand positioning. You can create content that positions your brand. And what I say in the guide is, we want to occupy space in the hearts and the minds of the people we hope to do business with, or right? Brand positioning is occupying space in the hearts and the minds of the people you want to do business with. So this is not sales. We're not getting, this is not about sales yet. I know that's what we're going for, right? Sales. But the first thing is your content goal. You can select from my workbook. I gave you options. Brand positioning. Positioning your brand in the hearts and the minds of your potential clients, right? The people you want to do business with. Here's the key. If you do not occupy space in the minds of your followers, you can't sell to them. If Coca-Cola doesn't mean something to you, they can't sell to you. If Nike doesn't occupy space in your mind and your heart, if you're not thinking about them, if they haven't entered into your consciousness, if you're not conscious of their existence in the world, they do not exist in your world. So the same thing is true, that if you, your brand and your products do not occupy, this is about intentionality. If they do not think about you, or you do not occupy any space in their hearts and in their mind, emotion, right? Thoughts, mind, heart, emotion. You do not strike any emotion and they do not think about you, you can't sell to them. Okay? So the biggest brands in the world, they consistently show up, right? The Coca-Cola bottle, Pepsi. The reason is because if Coca-Cola stops advertising or showing us their brand, guess what? They will not exist in our minds anymore and Pepsi will take over. The same thing is true. When Pepsi stops showing up for their brand and they stop marketing or showing us their logo, their bottles, or advertising everywhere, right? Soccer games, all those things. If Pepsi stops it today, it's only a matter of time where they fade away. They may not fade away as a company, but here's the thing: they'll fade away from your mind, right? They will cease to exist in your consciousness. They may exist as a company serving other people, but for you, if they stop marketing to you, they will not exist anymore. So the power of brand positioning is using your content. Okay, I'm just going to share the very first strategy here. That's what I'm covering right now. Okay, for those on Instagram, the very first strategy from the workbook is what I want to talk about today because it's very, very deep. The guide, the video guide, and the workbook is available on my website. You can download it. You can start doing the assignments and then tapping into the experience and expertise to design your own content strategy, right? So that you can achieve your result. But I'm staying on one today. Brand positioning. Number two option that I give in my workbook is thought leadership. You can leverage the power of your content to demonstrate that you're a thought leader, right? Depending on what industry that you're in. If your intention, this is about goal, you can use content to deliver a message to your followers, members, stakeholders that, hey, I'm the best. I'm the best in the world at this. And I know what I'm doing, and you need to pay attention to me because I'm a thought leader. That's an example of this content you're watching today. Is a demonstration of thought leadership that I have a deep experience to teach and coach and guide people who want to learn content strategy development. So this content is an example of thought leadership. Right. You see why you don't really need to dance to show thought leadership. There are different things, and this workbook helps you understand. If you feel uncomfortable doing all those things other people are telling you to do, you need to grab a copy of this workbook. Right. It's for you. Okay. Brand positioning, the first option. Thought leadership. You can go in creating content, certain types of content to demonstrate your expertise, your skill. Right. You want to show the world that you have skill, right, and expertise, and you can deliver certain outcomes on their behalf, right? Content allows you to do that. If you remember at the beginning, I said content is the vehicle that would allow you to deliver the message. My point is your message. What's your message? Your message could be brand positioning. It could be thought leadership. I want you to see me as a thought leader on a particular subject, on a particular topic. You can create content and you can create engagement. You can sensitize your community and you can create awareness, right? Which is the third one, the third option in the workbook, right? The strategy development guide and workbook is you can create content to gain visibility, awareness, and for marketing, right? So let me share a little bit of difference between this third one and the first one. Brand positioning, I say a brand, okay, is a statement. These are my quotes. I have tons of quotables if you follow me. So do follow me for more, okay? I say a brand is a statement, but your passion, conviction, and perspectives, okay, give it power. And that power is how you influence people. But the same statement, if it falls flat, meaning if it's devoid of passion, if it's devoid of conviction, if it's devoid of perspective, it's just, oh, this is who I am, take me on. No, no, no. You have to. So, brand has a voice, it has a tone because it has to strike. Brand has to strike something in the hearts, emotion, and the mind, thinking, visual, right? You see with the eyes, the brain has to process it, and it has to interpret your brand in a certain way, right? That it occupies space thinking. When I think about you, it brings it back to memory, the last thing I saw, right? It brings a certain emotion. So if a brand doesn't strike, it's not backed with passion, conviction, right? You don't bring your power, right? Then you can't move the world. Passion moves the world. Another of my quotes: passion sells. Passion sells. Passion sells. Okay? With passion, you can sell. You have to bring your power. You have to bring your voice. You have to bring your perspective to the world before you can move anybody. So I know people are watching. If you have any question, drop it. If you have any reactions, drop it as well. This is a unique content. It's more of a teaching, directional, instructional share today. This is when I say I teach, uh this is the version of me that is in the private when I teach my members. Like, I'm very instructional, and because I have a workbook today, you're kind of experiencing a little bit of that, right? So if you're not used to doing this, it's because you're not my student, you've not attended my workshops or master classes. When I teach, it's like game on, right? It's like gung, right? On other contents, when I'm just relaxed, having a conversation, it's not serious. I say it's not that serious, but this one is serious, guys. Okay. And this is just a one. Again, there's a guide, a video guide, and the workbook is available for purchase and download at toyinyumesiri.com/content strategy. It's part of a package for the Business and Leadership Academy. But I also know that some people may just need that program by itself. So it's standalone. You can access it. But okay, let me continue with one. Your content goals, right? The message, the power of the message, brand positioning, occupying space in the hearts and the minds of the people you want to sell to or the people you want to do business with, right? Brand position, I'm repeating it a few times. Brand positioning, right, is about occupying space in the hearts and the minds of the people you want to do business with. And you can control part of this workbook would help you control what emotion you are striking. There are several other tips there, but I'm still on one, right? Thought leadership. You want to demonstrate. You want people to think about you. When they think about, say, it's like this. When you think about a plumber, who do you need a plumber? You think about tooth. You have a toothache. Who do you think about? What type of experts do you want? A dentist, right? If you have pain, you go to a doctor. Thought leadership is when people encounter certain challenges, you want them to consider you as a solution. So let's say you want to grow your business growth and success. As example, I want those I want to do business with to consider Toyin Umesiri and the Nazaru brand and the Business and Leadership Academy as the go-to resource, right? To solve their business challenges. Think about it again. When you want banana, what do you think about? Grocery store. You want milk, right? It's that the needs of your followers, those who follow you. Thought leadership content includes you, embeds you as a packaged solution when they think about what. Okay, if you want to build a building, what do you think about? You need a contractor. You see my point? If you want, so you need to immerse yourself in an industry. You need to you need to understand that's another. In fact, I'm connecting two things here. I also have the entrepreneurs workbook in the academy, right? The entrepreneurs workbook. The third question on that workbook is your industry, your market segments. Do you have clarity? Do you know what industry you're in? Because there are certain industry conditions that is already influencing your business. So nobody runs anything in isolation. You are part of a community, right? You're part of an industry. Is it a permanent personal development industry, coaching industry? What industry are you a part of? Because you need to be aware of the trends and the shifts in that industry and the consumer behavior, which also leads me to is another program around consumer insight, a 5 series program around how to do deep research on your customers and your right consumer insights. Is you need to understand your market segment, your industry. You need to understand your customers. You also need to launch your product. All of these things come together when you're now trying to create content. In fact, the knowledge you have about all of those things will help you as you're completing this workbook. So thought leadership is always in the context. It's always in the context of a landscape. So for example, if you're a programmer, right? Thought leadership is when people are thinking about computer science or technology skills. Okay, another example, right? You want to be considered. If I need to build a website, Thought leadership is creating content that already demonstrates to those who follow you that you have specific expertise. So when it is time for them to say, I need a website designer, they're like, oh, wait a minute. There's somebody that's been telling me they're a website designer. Let me look them up. That's thought leadership content, is that there are certain things you must put out there that demonstrates that you have deep expertise in a specific area, and you need to do it consistently enough that when people need that specific skill, they think about you. And if you don't have content that does that today, people are following you, liking you, sharing you, but they don't know what you can do. They don't know your job. They don't know how you can help them. So thought leadership content elevates you in their mind in terms of skill, the skills that you have, the expertise that you can deliver for them. You must create content. You have to create content at that level. Otherwise, right? And then visibility awareness marketing is when you have done all of those things, you want to stay top of mind, right? So it could be top of mind brand, top of mind product, top of mind services, top of mind skills, top of mind expertise. We're here. See us, see us, see us, see us, see us, see us, right? See me, see me, see me, see me. And there are different ways to achieve it. So sometimes I host interviews, right? I'm bringing content, I'm engaging, people see me, I see you, right? We're good, right? You know I'm here. I'm still in business, right? So I'm looking here for Instagram, and then I also have the YouTube live stream. So do please subscribe and follow as well. Do also share. Do you have any questions so far? Thank you, everyone that's joining. I really do appreciate it. Okay. And the last option I gave, this is just still, right? This is still one. I'm still just covering one here. This one, the option. Sales and conversion content goals. That's what we all want, right? Sales, conversion. But here's the key: when you understand the funnel, right? It's tough to sell to people, or it's tough to influence people to buy when you haven't done all the other three things I talked about. You do not occupy, your brand doesn't occupy space in their hearts and mind. You're trying to get them to buy. How many people that try to do that to you did you actually respond to today? I'm sure many people have tried to sell you something today, but because they've not done one, two, three, everything they're trying to present to you is like falling flat. The message falls flat, right? It's like lost delivery. There's no address, right? It's like content is the vehicle that delivers your message. You miss the mark, you miss the address when you've not occupied space in their hearts and their mind. So I just wanted to share that top one with you today, right? It's a lot. The full guide to the workbook is actually available at the Business and Leadership Academy. I teach every week there, and hopefully you've derived and extracted some value from this. If you have, do drop a comment. What touched you most? Let me know where you're joining from. What questions do you have, as I'm starting to wrap up now? And so what touched you? Did anything touch you, actually, right? Did you know that you needed to be more strategic? Let me explain that once again. If you don't remember anything I said today, please remember this one. We all need to be more strategic. Use social media, don't let social media use you. Use social media, don't let social media use you. These are all powerful tools within our reach, within our disposals, our phone, platforms. They are incredibly powerful, but they can cut for you or cut against you. What it means is, if you don't know how to use them, if you're not strategic, if you're not intentional, you burn time, you burn energy, you burn yourself, you'll be stressed, and you may not even understand what it is you're doing wrong. So what I help my clients and members do is, let's go back. Just pull yourself away from the rat race. Take a deep breath. Get water. Get water. Sip some tea. Sip some tea. Whatever you need. Chill. Like cool yourself. We will engineer this. it starts with answering this question, understanding with intention what it is you want, the goals that you have, right? The second thing on that, on the first page, is also what I call your content mission. You're going to send it on an errand. Yeah. People that are not used to this version of me, it's okay, right? Is that you have got content goal, which I talked about. The second next is selecting a mission. You will send that vehicle on an errand. What it will deliver, is it inspiration, education, motivation, challenge, transformation? I break all those things down in the guide. Okay. When you understand the power of content creation, you'll be more strategic, right? Creating strategy allows us to plan better. Planning better allows us to execute the plan. But if you don't have a plan, you're running and chasing the wind, burning energy, and it's a wild goose chase. It's like the more you chase people, they're like trying to dodge you, right? But when you carry a message that is powerful, that is educational, motivating, inspiring, right? People will be attracted. People will be attracted. People will stay. People will listen. When you engineer the types of message to say, I want to deliver this message. Because here's the key for those of us that are business owners, we're here to do good in the world. And you have to trust that if people know that what you have can transform their lives, why would they be running away? They will be attracted. But when you don't message that adequately, that's the problem. So I'll give you another example from the consumer insights bundle program. Okay, there's a question there that I ask my members to answer. My members answer it, and that question unlocks a unique content strategy that will help you engage better and convert your followers. Let me drop that question. I'll just share this briefly. It's about, I won't give you the name. It's on the in the academy, but that is about, what do you see as the knowledge expert? So it's about thought leadership. So that question shows thought leadership it demonstrates thought leadership to your followers. It's about you sitting and saying, based on my expertise in this space and the struggles and the aspirations of the people I am serving, right? What do I see? What do I know that they do not know? Sit with that. You are the expert. This is why I talk about leadership, business and leadership academy, is that our clients and members are looking to us for leadership. So we must demonstrate leadership. We must develop personal, at a minimum, personal leadership. You must lead yourself to success at a minimum. Okay? Before you can say you want to lead the world. That's why the game plan, 12 strategies for winning, is there, right? 12 strategies for achieving business success, right? And life success. All of this program, there are so many programs I've launched. I bundle everything to the academy. Why? It's mindset, skill set, expertise, practice, discipline, communication skill. When we develop all of those things, we will be more likely to getting the results. It's like the machine will, you crank the machine up. Okay. So basically, that specific question is about sitting still and asking yourself, as the expert, what knowledge, what do you see? What do you know that they do not? And then create content around that. That demonstrates thought leadership. Do you get that? Every of my program they're all connected. The entire bundle is available to my premium and professional members, and then non-premium and professional members can buy and purchase individual assets, right? Depending on what you need. So if you want to launch a new product or a new service, I have resources, workbook that you would use that will help you do that successfully. If you want to design your brand and launch a new brand, now from a strategist, I'm a strategist. When it comes to what color, all of those things, you get that execution. Remember, strategy before planning, planning, then execution. Most times people are so focused on, let me create a logo, let me, right? That's the last mile. The first thing is strategy. When you handle your strategy, then you plan what you're going to do to get the results you want, and then you execute that plan. Remember, strategy, plan, execute. Strategy, plan, execute. Okay. The quality of the strategy is driven by experience applied, skills applied, information, knowledge of the people putting it together. So if you're a 20-year marketing expert, if you design a marketing expertise strategy, that strategy will be richer than somebody that has only 1 year experience. That's what I mean by the quality. So by using a workbook, an instructional manual, you're literally borrowing knowledge from those who have experts. That's the power, is you can accelerate, right, your results. If you don't have knowledge, if you don't have skill, you can borrow skill by using. That's why I love using templates, workbooks, giving assignments, because, for example, what I just shared today, you may not have thought about it before: brand positioning, thought leadership, visibility, awareness, marketing, sales, and conversion. I just shared with you experience. So by accessing that workbook, you will immediately develop your skill, right? Overnight. Something you might not even master in 5 years, right? You will immediately borrow knowledge. That's the power of coaching programs such as mine. Okay. So content, I was talking about content. Is there's some programs around consumer insights. We spent 5 weeks diving into understanding, right? So I'm sharing so much here. I'm sharing so much. Everything is connected in my mind. That's why you have to become a student of entrepreneurship. If you want to build a successful business, right, you have to become a student. You have to be willing to learn and acquire skills, right? There's information, there's knowledge, there's practical knowledge, there's theoretical knowledge. Practical knowledge is what allows you to develop skill, and you develop skill through repetition, practice over time. The first time you attempt this, right? The first time you try communicating, maybe as a thought leader, right? You have to do it and then go back to the drawing board, fix it, come back. It's because you're developing skill. Skill is repetition. Skill is repetition, and then mastery comes when you've repeated it enough times, you've extracted lessons, your body and your mind now knows how to do it without thinking. You can fly that plane. That's what pilots do, right? Pilots are highly skilled professionals, right? But before, at the beginning, they had to do it once, twice, 3 times, right? The same thing is true. Communication skills supports your business. You can develop it. Things like this, my workbooks helps you get that message out and refine it. Remember, content is a vehicle that will help you develop deliver your message. What's your message? That message can be optimized, right, based on communication skill. Okay, I think I've shared a lot. What do you guys think? What do you guys think so far? The replay, I'll leave the replay out there for those who want to listen to it as well. So do join the Business and Leadership Academy. It's fierce. I'm fierce. We didn't come to play, right? This is about developing skill so that we can compete at the next level, right? If you're fine where you are, that's fine. But if you want a guide, a coach, if you seek direction, if you seek clarity, right, then join the Business and Leadership Academy. For those on Instagram, you can go to link in bio and access the resources. You can download the content, strategy development guide, and workbook. It's on the academy to take you to the academy. And we have a coaching room that you would have access to. And there are tons. This is something people don't know. I've layered it with a lot of goodies in the academy, even for free in the sense that the moment you invest anything and you go into the academy, you are in a wonderland, winter wonderland, not winter, but chocolate factory. If you are someone that you are a student, you want to learn, if you are hungry for learning and growing and developing yourself, then you're for me. But if you want somebody else to do the work for you, no. Okay, girl, we says absolutely insightful. Thank you. Yes, 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 absolutely. Thank you so much. So yes, what I'm finding is that people are used to, you know community leader, towing, I just come, I share inspiration, and then I go, right? But when I tell you I'm teaching, I teach at the business academy, many people don't understand because they don't see towing the right instruction. Okay. But hopefully you've experienced a little bit of that. And if you want to dive deeper, in fact, I encourage you not to delay, right? Because here's also part of success principle, right? Life is lived in a moment, opportunity comes in a moment. In fact, yesterday when I launched this workbook, I came and I shared it. And I put the price because people from around the world follow me. I reduced the price, but today the price has gone up by, I think, 4x or 5x. I don't know. Because the price, the value of what I do, I know the value, right? But the very first time I released it, I tried to reduce barrier to entry just to give people, like, I opened the door, I cracked the door open. Those who want to take advantage of the lowest rate, they go in straight. The next time you hear me, the price has gone up. That's the that's my own pricing strategy. Every time you see anything I'm offering, buy it the moment you see it, because the next time you come, the price would have doubled. I can guarantee it, right? That's a behavior that trying to get people to understand. Is I always start with entry price to lower the barrier of entry for those who follow me closely, who really just want that. And when they take advantage of it, I close that door. I because I'm here in the US, right? So there are different people all over the world, right? So first prize, any prize you see, anything I post, take it there, because the next time there's a prize for not making quick decisions. At least I'm just sharing it out there. That's a behavior. We can train the people who follow us. We can educate people to say, this is what I'm doing. Anytime I launch anything, this is how I do it. It's not the reverse where people start high and then they start discounting. I don't do that. I start to give people, I open the door quickly for those who follow me. The moment they go in, flood in, I close it and then I move the price up, right? So be aware of that, is that everything goes up in my own world. For example, some of our members that joined in January, when you found me talking about the game plan, the game plan, the game plan, the game plan, the people who heard me in January, they paid a fraction of those who are just now deciding, because speed, leadership is speed, success is speed. If you know where you're going, you have clarity. When you see opportunities that will help you get there faster, okay, don't wait tomorrow. I don't There's no tomorrow. Life is lived in today. Decisions, you have to master making decisions. Oh, this is what I want to improve content strategy. If Tony says get the workbook, get the guide, and you trust, right? Believability. There's believability in my brand, and I mean what I mean. Don't wait till tomorrow. But if you do, there's always, it's like airline tickets. We will tell you there's a flight leaving. We will let you know. If you now decide you want to buy last minute, you pay 30% more. Okay, I see. Says we need more than inspiration. We'll dive in. Yes, so we do need more than inspiration. Let me share this for those who have not heard me. They're not part of my community. In fact, it's one of those video series. Any new member that join, you have to go through new member orientation. One of it is preparing people to understand the journey they're about to go on. Okay, there's information gathering. So the work that I do, I'm not trying to duplicate Mr. Google. You can go on Google and type how to create content strategy. That's okay. You can get information there. It's like, if you want to learn how to fish, you can get a book on how to fish. Please do that. I'm not trying to duplicate what you can already get out there. So there's information. The next level, so that's the step one. Whenever you want to achieve success in any area in life, particularly if you've not developed skill, this is what you need to think about. I've just shifted into the game plan 12 strategies for winning now. Success mindset. Okay. Step one, it's a ladder. information, gather information. I will give you a ton of information. But information is not enough. Just like you're saying, inspiration is not enough. The next level, the next step is knowledge. Knowledge is information plus how to use the information. And when it comes to knowledge, there's theoretical knowledge, that is a book. You can literally buy a book now around content, whatever, right? Marketing, sales. Theory, somebody will write and describe it. It's like, you want to learn how to fish. I can give you a book on fishing. Okay, you can get a book on fishing. That's next level. It's better than just you can fish, go and fish. You should fish. How to fish is better than you should know how to fish, right? Information, knowledge. Knowledge, I'll divide it into two: theoretical knowledge, practical knowledge. Practical knowledge is what you do in the lab. You're going to the, if you want to learn how to fish, you're going to the stream. Okay, you're going to the stream and you're actually trying to do it. You're not just reading about it and thinking about it. You're actually handling the wire, the fishing rod. Your body, your mind is learning more. Dexterity, skill development. You're going to need to do it so much that your mind and body will take over. It's like learning how to drive. At some point, you're driving. Sometimes your mind is not even on the driving, but your body kicks in and takes over. You know how that is, right? That skill. You can't do that if you are still in driving lesson stage. Your brain will always be on alert. That's why people talk about imposter syndrome, which I don't like, right? Imposter syndrome is don't let go of that will because you've not developed skill, right? You are on alert, you are edgy because you are still learning. You've not become a master of entrepreneurship or branding or marketing. So you are unsure. It's normal, it's part of life. Because when you master, all of those things go away. So there's information, there's knowledge, theoretical knowledge, practical knowledge. Practical knowledge, you have to develop skills. That's what helps you develop skill. And skill development has level, right? Basic, intermediate, experts, right? Okay, here's the key. The way you can fast track, because that only happens through repetition and practice, but you can fast track skill with programs like this. So when I say I'm teaching masterclasses, workshops every week, right? It's because somebody that has the skill you don't have can help you develop your skill faster, quicker. I'm sure if you spend the last 30 minutes with me, you've learned something, right? Process some strategy, right? And there's more in that workbook. So skill development is when you can now go and implement it in your business. You can borrow knowledge, someone can help you develop skill. And the moment you acquire that skill, you can now generate results for yourself. So if you want to learn how to fish, you want to sell, right? You want to persuade effectively. It's a skill. It's a skill that must be developed. If you want to fish, fishing is a skill. You want the fish, but you can buy a book that says how to fish. You can go to the stream by yourself, but when a coach is there, right, they can help you develop, and then you can practice. And then when you master, guess what? You will be fishing anytime you want. So you're right. You said this is a game changer. Yes, I know. Please tell people, right? This is why I do this. Is that many times, unfortunately, people out there, anybody that makes you believe it is easy, they're lying to you. Anybody that tells you, don't worry, I'll do it for you, they want you to always be dependent. If you don't develop skill, you will always pay for the people who have skill. And that's okay. That's why employees, you hire somebody that invested 5 years in learning marketing. You will pay them heavy money for them to do that job for you. That's the way the world is that the people who have the skill and expertise are the ones we pay and we hire. And because they're the ones who do the job, they're the ones who get the outcomes, they're the ones who deliver results. To deliver results in business and life, in any area of life, even in relationship, is skill. The first year of marriage, 5 year of marriage, 10 year of marriage, years matter. People think years doesn't matter, but when they tell you go attend is premarital counseling, people be like, no, it's because they're giving you an opportunity to sit with somebody or a group of people that have 5 to 10, 20 years ahead of you. Their collective wisdom will save you crisis. That's life. This, what I'm sharing, the principles I'm sharing today is life strategies. That's why, in addition to teaching business, I also teach life principles, success principles that you must bring to your business, because we do business the way we do life. You can't escape. So anybody that is trying to sell you gimmicks, jump on this, do this, and you build a business, guys, you are falling for a lie. If you start dancing today, be ready to dance for the next 5 years. In fact, do we even know what metaverse is going to tell you to do? It might tell you to somersault, to stand on your head and spin, to sell, right? If you don't master these principles, these strategies, right? Somebody will come and sell you what you want to hear. Jump here, click here, this here, and then you too, because people want to believe it's easy. You are only listening to people that tell you it's easy. When somebody like myself tells you the truth, that the journey of entrepreneurship is hard work, diligence. And in order for you to remove and eliminate stress, you must master skills. When I deliver that message, nobody wants to hear it. Because, but it's the truth. But guess what? Eventually, you will believe me. It might take you 5 years. After you've gone round and round and round and round and round and round, you say, Tony told us. But here's what's happening. People want to believe it's clickbait, is this, is that. Those things are tactics. They're not strategy. It's like you have to master the fundamentals, and you have to develop skill and dexterity. You have to know how to communicate. If there's any skill you must develop, communication and clarity. That's why the game plan, the first, maybe I'll talk more about that in the future. 12 strategies. Number one strategy is activating clarity. Clarity of intention, clarity of goals, clarity of desire, clarity of where you're going, clarity of, can you see this car? Where are you going? Right? Where are you going? Why are you going? Do you have capacity to get yourself from point A to point B? In fact, two things you need is skill development and capacity building. Capacity to get yourself from point A to point B, skills to do the work that will help you get from point A to point B. There is work involved. To build your empire, anybody that tells you there's no work, that they can do the work for them, then be ready to pay heavy, because they have skill, you don't. They have skill, they invested time to develop skill. You will pay them to do it over and over and over and over again. The day you decide that, I don't want to pay again, then you must now embody that skill. And here's the key, just to make this simpler in terms of, I don't want to scare anybody. That's my intention. I want to inspire and motivate. Okay. It's actually how we all learn. The difference between a pilot and a doctor, do you know the difference? Is what they studied, what they dedicated themselves to study, and the skill they invested time and money to acquire is the skill they have. They weren't born, nobody's born a doctor, nobody was born a pilot. We were all born blank slates, but they went on a journey in search of knowledge in a specific area. They invested years in developing skill, acquiring the knowledge, and because of that, they are performing at those levels today. Why I'm sharing that is, okay, I see it says failures experienced in the past clearly showed that I lacked skill. I'm sorry about that, right? What I say even is that first time entrepreneur, first year, second year, they won't listen to me. It's like they're running so fast, passion. I'm like, wait, get, pack your bag, pack your capacity, pack your skill. They're like, no, Tony, I know what I'm doing. We don't need you. I'm like, fine. Year 3 is when people then slow down enough and say, nobody told me. I've been running in the wrong direction. People in year 3 of business, they are more open to these types of resources. They will grab these resources faster. But if you are still in year 1, you are still considering it, you're like, you know why? You know why? When you see somebody watching them swim, they make it look easy. But you better don't dare jump into an ocean without learning how to swim first. That's what's happening in entrepreneurship. That's why the statistics in entrepreneurship is awful. It's terrible. Like, in terms of the first 2-3 years, how many businesses open, close, right? Is because when we watch people that have been 10 years in, they have experience. We're like, it's easy, I'm balling. You, unsuspecting outsider, you're seeing a farmer reap on the day he's reaping, and you think you can just go into the farm and reap. They did not tell you the seeds they planted, how they watered, how they prayed to God, how they did weeding, all the years of anticipation and saying, heaven, open up, bless, send us rain. You didn't see that. You just saw a farmer harvesting and eating the fruits of their labor, and you now think eating is easy. That's what's happening. You think you can jump into the ocean and start swimming without learning how to swim. You get what you get. I will continue delivering this message because I've created an entire academy, schools, training programs for those who need to master these skills for them to see the results they had. If you want to accelerate success, I'm for you. If you want to go and make your own mistakes, they say fail fast. I say learn fast, but people say fail fast. Okay, if you want to fail fast, fail fast. After you fail, please come. We still have to see. Listen, even failure, you don't know what you did. If you don't know what you did wrong, you've not gathered experience. Many people have failed and they cannot conduct an autopsy to say, why did I fail? Just like you are sharing now, you said it is lack of skill. That is what I call autopsy. When something dies, it takes courage to confront ourselves and say, what did I do wrong? For me, that led to, when I say I teach, you don't know what I've consumed. Books upon books. Why? When I now tell you I teach, because I became a student before I became a master. Before I now teach business mode, right? Books. You think entrepreneurship is technical? It's not emotional. You are the architect. You will design your business model engineering. It's business model engineering. You are the architect. The customer is the heart of your business. They are the ones you right. Okay. You guys just got me off. Let me come back home. See, I always tell myself I can control myself. I don't do that, but I'm like, I bring myself back. It's not serious. I didn't come here for that. Anyway, you get my point. Thank you so much. The replay will be available, but what I just did today was share just the first part of the content strategy development template workbook that I launched and released. There are tons of workbooks. If you're ready to do the work and become a student, right? You want to join my academy because there's so many resources. People now, you don't have any excuse to be failing anymore. I say become a student. Learn the fundamentals, learn the basics, learn how to structure your business for growth. Acquire the skills, build capacity. Capacity could be knowledge, skills, expertise. It could be network, right? Is that you can borrow. If you want to fast track and accelerate your own journey, you can borrow from those who have done the work ahead of you. In fact, today I was telling someone, I said, guess what? We went ahead first. we braved it. Now God told us, yeah, build a bridge. The next set of people, their journey needs to be a little bit easier. Help them fast track it, right? Teach them what you learned on that journey. That's what all this is about. But again, many people will still say, no, I want to go on my own journey. I'm like, please go. Go and then come and tell us the story. We have tons of story to tell another day, maybe in a book. My journey to entrepreneur. So I'm just appealing, like, don't just go without learning. Learn first. Don't fail fast. Learn fast. In fact, that needs to be my motto. Learn fast. We don't tell pilots to fail fast because the cost of a failed pilot is dangerous. But in entrepreneurship, we throw you into the mouth of the shark, and we say swim to the other side, and you're like, help me first, help me. See, I just switched from instructor towing to. Did you notice that I've left the book? I've finished teaching. Now I'm having fun. Help me! The shark is coming to bite. You're like, please, please. And Tony is like throwing you workbook, right? And you're like, tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow never comes. Part of success principle is making decisions that will support your growth immediately. I say, I will persuade you to invest for your own benefit. Those who have invested. In fact, check out my Instagram. One of my students was like putting a comment out there. I was blown away during my live series. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I was like, oh, you touched my heart. She's telling you the stress is gone because she now has skills. She knows what she's doing. Okay, I'm ready to say I'm ready to be a student. Yes, 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 yes. Message me. There's also link. If you can message me, DM me, and give me some data, stats. Send me your website. Just give me some information about your business, what you've been doing before, how many years you've been in business, and we can take it from there. There's also links. My link in bio on Instagram. You can see that, and then my own personal website, toyinumesiri.com, for those who want to learn more about me. Really, it's key. I became a student. I sit at the feet of people like, please teach me, please help me, right? Because when we learn, we can now stand tall and say, okay, we can now even teach others. We can now do what we need to do, and we can do it without stress, right? We can learn faster, we can develop skill, we can come back again, and then guess what's going to happen? We can now use all this platform to its maximum. The reason you see me, I'm online having fun, is because they are powerful. Can you imagine trying to build a business 50 years ago? You will go everywhere with paper, right? All I have to do now is leverage the power of content to carry my message and deliver on it. Social media. Social media is powerful. But if you don't know what you're doing, it will use you. Social media will use you, spit you out. It's like, like, right? Social media is cruel. Try running an ad. That money will just disappear. You were like, oh, right? But guess what? I will use it. It's powerful. We can engage with people around the world, but we better know what we're doing. Going back for those who just joined, please watch the replay because I shared this with you. Going back with goal, brand positioning, right? Thought leadership. Today, the strategy I just taught you, I just used it as example today. Today's live stream was strictly to drive thought leadership. That was the goal of me coming live, teaching you that whenever you're considering support and help in your business, think of Coach Toyin. Coach Toyin is an expert thought leader. She will teach you to achieve growth and success for yourself. That was the point of today's. So practice that at a minimum. Be intentional. The moment you want to do anything, post anything, share anything, engage, ask yourself, am I trying to position my brand? Right. So, for example, 2 days ago, Tuesday, I hosted an interview with Miss Maura Mitchell, the managing director for Women's Business Development Center, downtown Chicago. That engagement is brand positioning. I was positioning my brand, okay? And she was as well. That interview for an hour, that content is solidifying our brand, both of our brands, our brand, Women's Business Development Center, my brand, Toyin Misiri Nazaru, right? That content, if you watch it, you will know that you know that you know Toyin Misiri and Miss Mora Mitchell. Brand positioning. We now occupy space by watching that content, by consuming it and learning, by enjoying that interaction. I, we, right? I now occupy space in the hearts and the minds of everybody that watched that. So I'm sharing and teaching the strategy I use, right? Part of some of the questions in the workbook. That's why you need to get this workbook today. Is that part of the question is also asking you what is the most effective way? Because I also have newsletters. Things I put, you will not see on video, right? Strategy. Design a strategy, plan a strategy, execute. Don't go rushing and doing anything out there without knowing why you're doing it, the desired outcomes, the most optimized route to get it done, planning when you will do it, and then doing it. Signing out, people. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to engage. If you have any questions, please drop it. Head over to link in bio to antoniomisiri.com to access much resources, right, on business growth and success. Like I shared, we have the premium membership and the professional membership for the year, right? They have access to everything. But for those who are not ready to make that level of investment, what I've also done is to package different courses together and programs and resources. So if you want to launch a new product, you can just go that route. If you want to design your brand, we have a 5-part series. You want to dive into the world of your customers, another series, right? Right? Content strategy development is another program. So you can handle and tap into individual programs depending on what you want. So it's like you go into McDonald's, take your pick, you pick what you want to eat, or you can say, Tony, I want everything, and it includes one-on-one with me, group coaching and one-on-one, right? And my premium and professional members, they are the first to access anything I release. So when I released this on Wednesday, they were the first. The guide, they were the first, right? And then out here, I can then tell people that are not in the membership, like, it's available. People are living the dream. So that's how the setup is. When you go to Toyin Mystery, you can actually see more of that. Okay. And then there's a roadmap, a visual roadmap that represents all the courses you'll go to. That's why I said it's a school, right? Many people want you to say, oh, jump on reels. I'm like, is that, if you jump today, then you don't do anything that you cannot do consistently. See, I can do this consistently. It's very effective. Very, very effective. For whatever message I want to. I'm relaxed. No stress. My own time. I can come live, engage, deliver that message. Thought leadership, brand positioning, awareness, right? Marketing, visibility, sales, and conversion. I can pack it all together. Right? And if it's valuable, and if it's intentional, and if it's inspirational, if it's educative, people will say thank you. People will say thank you. So never mind anything anybody's telling you out there. If you get your strategy right, you'll be fine. But strategy first, planning second, executing third. Don't run in the wrong direction. Okay. Thank you again. I really appreciate everybody that joined. I'm waving at you. Okay, it's a wrap for today. I'm going to close out the stream first and then get on Instagram.